Good evening, I'm Cynthia Ng. You are tuning in to AWANI Tonight. The court's decision to give Christians the right to use the word Allah along with 3 other Arabic words in their religious publication is specifically for Sarawak. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim reiterated the government's stance that it remained committed to defend and protect the interests of Islam, the Malays and the institution of the King in accordance with the Federal Constitution.
Ini khusus dalam kes Sarawak. Untuk Sarawak kita faham, Sarawak dulu dia tak terikat dengan keputusan negeri. Dia tak boleh terpakai di Melaka atau Pulau Pinang atau Selangor, tak. Ini hanya khusus untuk kes Sarawak yang dah kita kalah dalam kes awal. Kerana di Sarawak memang diputuskan oleh negeri begitu rupa.
In relation to this matter, the Home Ministry will now review an administrative order it issued in 1986 on the usage of the word Allah, among others, by non-Muslims. This came a day after it confirmed that it had withdrawn an appeal against a court ruling linked to the issue. The High Court's decision was based on the same order issued in 1986. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the government's decision to not continue with its appeal was on a case-by-case basis and was done without prejudice. He added that the Kuala Lumpur High Court's decision was made based on a civil and administrative approach, which is the issue related to the seizure of publication materials at that time and not from the theology aspect or anything that involved the use of the word Allah. Therefore, Saifuddin said the function of the court itself was inappropriate in deciding affairs related specifically to religious matters. He explained that the government's decision to withdraw the appeal now paves the way for the ministry to study and update a new and more holistic administrative order. At the same time, UMNO Information Chief Datuk Seri Azalina Othman Said has also called for more in-depth research on the matter as it involved religious sensitivities, adding that UMNO ministers would raise the matter in tomorrow's cabinet meeting.
The government does not see a need to declare an emergency yet, even as Malaysia is hit by a heat wave that saw several deaths, including children. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, however, assured that the government is prepared and might reconsider the decision if the temperature reaches 40 degrees Celsius.
Not yet, but we are ready. Kita dalam langkah ini kita menggunakan arahan 20, arahan nombor 20 Majlis Keselamatan Negara sebagai melaksanakan langkah-langkah untuk mengatasi masalah ini.
Meanwhile, Zahid added that cloud seeding will be carried out by the Royal Malaysian Air Force and the Malaysian Meteorological Department, focusing on 7 dams that are expected to see a drop in water levels.
Saya ingin menyebutkan di 7 lokasi itu, satu di Sungai Muda, Sungai Kedah, Sungai Melaka, Sungai Kelantan, Sungai Kelang, Sungai Bernam dan Sungai Simi Dijau di Sarawak. Dan saya petang ni akan terus pergi ke kawasan Sungai Muda dan Sungai Kedah untuk melihat sendiri keadaan di sana dan mengambil tindakan-tindakan segera.
Online passport renewals will be introduced at the Kerajaan, Kelana Jaya and Wangsa Maju immigration branches from June 1st. This would mean that the 3 branches will no longer accept walk-in applications for people between the ages of 13 and 59.
The 3 branches would still accept walk-in applications for children under the age of 12, accompanied by guardians or parents. They would also accept walk-ins for the disabled, those over the age of 60, as well as pilgrims and students under the age of 21 who have offers to study abroad. Walk-ins will also be accepted at other immigration offices. According to Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, the 3 branches were selected as they issued a high number of passports and were located in areas with good internet connectivity. In the first 4 months of this year, the immigration branches of Kerajaan, Kelana Jaya and Wangsa Maju had issued a total of 91,931 passports.
On Teachers' Day, the government has announced several initiatives to foster a positive environment for schools nationwide. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said these initiatives aim to enhance teacher welfare, reduce their workload, and improve overall well-being, among others. Among the initiatives included an affordable holiday program, which offers discounts for flight tickets, accommodation, and transport for teachers to take a break. The Education Ministry would also address teacher shortages in critical subjects through improved recruitment processes and expanded eligibility criteria. Meanwhile, the ministry also introduced flexibility in official attire for educational institution lecturers. Other initiatives include expanding the comprehensive Special Model School Year 9 or K9 program to address student dropouts and improving school visitation protocols. What do teachers make of these newly announced incentives and measures by the Education Ministry? Pemimpin GSL's Bernard Au shares his thoughts.
With the anticipation, I think teachers were expecting a lot, and I think because of that, it is slightly disappointing in my opinion, because people are hoping for monetary reward, increment in salary maybe, extra holidays maybe. But I think whatever that has been announced is still good nonetheless. Great effort from the ministry. I see a lot of people talking about it on social media as well. I think if I were to call out some good things, the little things like Program Cuti Guru and Sumbangan Hari Guru not taking money from the teachers again. Instead, they will find other ways to fund the Hari Guru. I think that makes a lot of sense. Teachers shouldn't be paying for their own celebration and preparing themselves. That's what teachers are doing. Most of the teachers are doing today, actually. So I'm glad that these little things are announced. But I would definitely say I think teachers are expecting a lot more from our Education Minister.
Bernard also highlights some of the issues he hopes the Education Ministry would pay attention to.
That slow online systems that the teachers are using. Like, for example, with the ADPM or the IDME, the systems that the teachers are using right now to key in data on a frequent basis, these systems are very laggy, and a lot of times it takes a lot of time from the teachers. And if these things can be fixed, right, it would reduce the paperwork that teachers have to do significantly. And I think when I talk to some of my teacher friends, they are hoping that a holistic system and a resilient system, the one that wouldn't crash when everyone logs into it, is really needed at this point. So that is definitely something that I hope the minister can do. The second one is that although the minister has tried to reduce programs, they said they're going to reduce some state-level programs for the schools, but the impact is still not felt by the teachers. There's still a lot of programs in school from multiple levels, national level, state level, district level, and in school. And it's just difficult, taking away too much time for teachers to do their core work, which is to teach the students and build relationships with them. So I think in that sense, I was hoping that she can make more efforts in this aspect, but it's not clearly seen yet.
We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more.
Gergasi merah terus mengejar pendahulu liga. The Gores mula mendapat rentak yang diingini. Sang Kenari cuba bangkit semula. Mampukah The Red Warrior kembali cemerlang? Semangat kita, berjuang kita demi liga kita. Liga Super hanya di Astro Arena Bola dan Astro Go. Kehangatan Liga kini semakin terasa. Pelanggan Astro boleh memenangi tiket percuma perlawanan Malaysian Football League di aplikasi My Astro menerusi Astro Rewards.
Thai voters handed the Progressive Move Forward Party a surprise victory in Sunday's election. Now the campaign to win over the military-appointed Senate begins. Thammasat University's Dr. Virat Ali discusses what to expect next.
So by law, they have 60 days to do so. And within that 60 days, they have to at least release 95% of the parliament members, to be kind of into the parliament. They also have the ability to stretch it further as well. But by law, it's 60 days. So when they check all the requirements and all these things, if there's no problem, 95% at least of the MPs are allowed to get into parliament or endorsed, then the parliament meetings would proceed. So the first thing that they will have to do is to elect what we call the House Speaker, the Speaker of the House. So who has the majority in the lower house might be able to, choose or pick the Speaker. And then after that, then it might take a week or so after that, or maybe quicker, they might convene for voting for the premiership. So the Prime Minister needs to be, at least getting 376 votes within the two joining, the Parliament and the Senate.
Move Forward will need to persuade 60 or more senators to actively vote for a multi-party coalition in order to form government. The other option, strike a deal with Boom Chai Thai Party, part of the ruling coalition that won the third most seats after Move Forward and Pita. But besides getting the numbers, Move Forward leader Pita Limjaroenrat faces other obstacles in his quest to become the next Prime Minister of Thailand.
The party that received the most number within the parliament should have the ability to set up a coalition first, then the second or the third or the fourth political party. So Pita Party now has stated that, okay, we would, let Future Forward Party be the lead in what we call forming out this particular coalition. So if the coalition is success, then yes, Kun Pita Limjaroenrat would become the next Prime Minister of Thailand. But at the same time, we have to put a bit of a underlining there as well, because Kun Pita has been accused of holding certain shares from a media company called ITV, which is defunct, but is still listed in the stock market. And Kun Pita has not a very large amount of shares in there, but he hasn't transferred it to someone else.
The total number of known executions worldwide in 2022 jumped by 53% compared to the year before. According to an Amnesty International report released today, there were at least 883 executions in 20 countries for 2022, the highest figure in 5 years.
The report noted that the number was likely higher as thousands of executions in China are being kept under wraps. It added that state secrecy in North Korea and Vietnam, plus limited access to information in several other countries, continue to hinder the access to true figures. Amnesty said 90% of the world's known executions last year were carried out by just 3 countries: Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. The report also said 6 countries abolished the death penalty completely or partially last year. However, executions still resumed in 5 of the countries in 2022, in Afghanistan, Kuwait, Myanmar, Palestine, and Singapore. More than a third of the world's recorded executions in 2022 were for drug offences.
At least 6 people have died following a fire at a hostel in Wellington, New Zealand. The death toll is expected to rise. More than 50 people were rescued from the building, but authorities say 11 people remain missing. Emergency services were called to the Loafers Lodge hostel just after midnight local time. Firefighters arrived to find that the top level of the building ablaze, resulting in major structural damage that hindered rescue efforts. The cause of the fire is not known, but authorities were treating the incident as suspicious. The hostel was designated as an emergency accommodation provider by New Zealand's Ministry of Social Development in 2011. Its clientele included construction workers, hospital staff, and those serving community sentences for minor offences. That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching and good night.